Alright everyone, welcome to a new look at a game here on the channel. It's called The Last Campfire. So this is a small game developed by a small team at Hello Games. This is the same developer who came out with No Man's Sky. And you obviously, most of you probably know all of the gossip that happened with the No Man's Sky game. However, this seems to be a little bit different, and it is a different art style. It is a puzzle adventure game, which is pretty cool. It's very laid back from what I've seen so far. I played myself for about 20 minutes or so just to get things set up, and it seems to be cool, so I'm excited for it. I'm calling this just a look at a game because we're going to do a little bit longer episode for this first one, and if you guys do enjoy it, then maybe we'll consider maybe putting a series out around it, or otherwise we might just shift it over and play it over on Twitch. I do stream over there. But if you do like this, you want to see more videos like this, hit that like button and comment down below. Just let me know. I'm not going to know unless you guys leave me some feedback. So with that said, we're going to jump into it. Now, I did change some things, so hopefully our settings are good to go. Bumped things around. I changed our graphics options and so on and so forth. There's not much to change, so just keep that in mind. So we're going to jump into a brand new game. There are two types of modes here. We have normal mode and explore mode. I'm just doing normal mode, and we'll just jump into it. Now, I believe there is a long scene here at the start. So while this is running or getting loaded in here, I will make mention that this is actually available on 5 different platforms. I'm personally playing on the PC, but it's also available on Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, PS4, and iOS through the Apple Arcade. So if you're interested, feel free to check it out on all those different devices. Unfortunately, it is not on Android. And it did get released today. So today is August 27th of 2020, and it did get released today. So you can go and pick it up as you're watching this video. Alright, so we got some guys here kind of boating along here in the water. One is a little bit different color. We have an orange one here at the back. I think the other 3 were blue. Yeah, they're like a bluish gray color. I really like the artwork too. The artwork is really, really cool in this. It's just a very, I don't know, like I feel like a lot of indie games take on this artwork style where it's very kind of cartoony. But I think it really adds to the aesthetic and really sets a good tone for the game. Alright, so we came upon something here. Alright, it looks like they opened a doorway, played a little tune on their horn there, and they opened a doorway. But our orange guy here is falling behind a little bit, it seems like. He's got a little Twitter bird landing on his boat. Oh, now they're opening the doorway. Okay. And in they go. Oh no! He lost his little oar. Well, I don't think the stream was going that fast. Oh no! And he's missing his friends. He's missing the entryway. I don't know why he couldn't just paddle, like with his little arms. I mean, the water might not be allowing him to do so or something like that. Like, I get it, it's probably for the game, but I'm just calling it out. Oh no, now he's drifting into a creepy area here, where branches are growing out of the water. Oh no, he's sad and he's lost. This poor guy. I'm assuming it's a guy. It could be a girl. This poor fellow.
There is a place where the lost embers go.
Alright, so this is an ember. So is this him? Is this our guy then right here? I don't know, because he's got like some packs and stuff on him. But then there's this other ember right here that's blue, like the other guys.
As their light begins to fade.
We do have to click through all of these though. As you see, it'll read through, and then we have to. We don't have to click right here. You can click anywhere, but then it'll progress the narration for us. All right, we got a couple little blue blobs around here. I don't know what's going on with these guys. They're all different sizes. They remind me of the things from like Kingdom Hearts a little bit. and then they just disappear into the ground.
Unable to face what was to come.
Alright, unable to face what is to come. So this is a click and move game, so I'm not using WASD or anything like that. I'm just using my mouse button and you move along. Now, in terms of saving your game, typically you can, go into escape here and you'll get a bunch of different options for saving, for loading different games, for changing settings, so on and so forth. Unfortunately, you cannot do that. It only has continue and quit. Now, from my understanding, it does continuously save your progress, like even down to the seconds, which is kind of cool. So even though there's no way to actually physically hit a save button yourself, it should be saving for you already. Now, in terms of like graphics and changing settings and sound settings and so on and so forth, unfortunately, you do have to back out to the main menu to change those then. Hopefully they'll change that down the line, because it is a little bit silly that you couldn't at least change your volume settings in-game when you really would be testing it. You're really going to be in-game hearing the volume, and you might want to bump it down a little bit. But anywho, we're going to continue on our path here. So we awoke on a pedestal. I don't know if this is the same guy or not. I mean, we woke up in a boat, so I guess realistically it could be our same guy that we saw at the start of this, but now he's blue.
The wall glistened.
All right, we got a glistening wall.
The painting showed embers on a sacred journey.
On a sacred journey. So you can see here, I'm guessing these are our embers, which a lot of them look blue. It might just be the aesthetic from it. So I'm a little confused why our first guy was orange. And then we have our a maze here. I'm guessing you have to work your way through the maze in order to find the flame, which the other 3 embers had found when we started the game here. So we're going to keep clicking through. Uh-oh. Looks like we have an unfortunate ember over here. Well, all these guys look like embers too, which is kind of cool. Well, let's go check on this guy.
Ember felt so afraid and alone.
Oh, poor guy.
It was a relief to find someone to talk to.
I like how this one is purple, though. I would love purple robes. Oh, no.
Ember froze, almost too frightened to look away.
It's a skeleton. This reminds me of the skeleton from SpongeBob, like the skeleton fish. From He Was Number One guy. That's what he looks like. The long name where they had to add a plank onto the end of the gravestone to add in the rest of his name. It looks like that fish from it.
And I noticed a small satchel.
Alright, a small satchel. I don't know why I keep clicking on the wording itself. I don't have to move my mouse up there to click on it. Oof. Aww. Kind of depressing. Alright, so we have a satchel. Stranger's satchel. Let's click on it.
The satchel felt heavy. Ember looked inside.
It's interesting that they put different things in different colors, like different words in different colors. So our satchel is in red for some reason, and then our name is in blue.
The statue shone brightly in the light.
Alright, cool. So we got a statue for some reason, and it looks like an ember holding that little horn that we saw at the beginning that they were using. So now we have a new icon up here for our satchel. We can open it. Look at this cool animation that they throw in here. They throw your character to the side here, actually looking in the bag, and it shows you what's in there. That's a cool little add-in. It's the small things sometimes. Ooh, okay. This platform here is not very stable, it seems like. But we do have something here.
Symbol on the floor.
Okay, symbol on the floor. It looks like the flame. Makes sense. Let's continue on up the stairs, and it looks like we're coming to a door.
Ember noticed something wrong.
Yes, something is wrong. That flame is not facing the right way. So here is our first puzzle, I guess you could say. So what you're going to do is you're just going to hold on with your left mouse button and just rotate. Hold it and keep rotating around. It takes a few spins, and then it'll automatically click into place and light up just like so. And with that being said, we have something new down here to explore. So let's take a peek at this. What is going on here?
Space where something used to fit.
A round space where something used to fit. I'm guessing this is where then our statue goes. Well, I know it's where our statue goes because I did play for 20 minutes getting things set up, so I know that this is where it goes.
Embers the light, the golden statue slid perfectly into place.
Alright, so that gives you a little hint here on what you gotta do. So you gotta click and drag the pieces into place. So you have these two boys that popped up. They look like just trees, like tree, I don't know, amulets or statues, right? Yeah, statues. Let's go with statues. That makes more sense. So we just gotta move these out of the way. Very easy puzzle to start. And just like so, we get our statue into place. It disappears. The table disappears. We zoom out and we see that the door forward has now opened.
Ember left, feeling sorry for the stranger now alone in the dark. The stairway opened into a dark forest. Ember could feel fear taking over. They'd washed up alone, somewhere very unfamiliar.
Alright, so we're now outside of that little dungeon that we were in, I guess. We can start moving around. We had a bird there. He flew off, though. Didn't want to stick around. And it looks like we really only have one path forward, so let's keep going down this way. That bird keeps flying off. It's dropping a lot of feathers, though. You might want to go to a doctor, my guy, or a vet.
Ember
little bird.
felt like they were being watched.
Oh, you can double click to dash. That's actually pretty interesting. I did not notice that the first time I was looking through things. There's some foxes down here.
The foxes howled into the night. The only reply was silence.
Oh, that's kind of cool that we can double click and run around. Alright, we have a pathway forward here, but it does look to be blocked.
The path was blocked.
Well, there you go. Oh, it did look like there was someone back there. I don't know if you noticed that. It looked like there was another Ember who ran away once we got a little bit closer there. Okay, so this is our only option. We have to go this way. And it looks like we have a flame up here. Let's go check this out.
As Ember approached, the flame seemed to call out.
Alright, the flame seemed to call out. And it seems like we are now teleported into a new puzzle. So this seems like this might be the theme.
Feeling like falling, the forest had slipped away. Ember felt lost in darkness and ruin.
Okay, yeah, it seems like this is going to be the theme where you come across these certain parts and then it'll pop into a different puzzle. I mean, it is a puzzle adventure game, but so far it is pretty cool. So obviously we're going to pick this boy up first. It was glowing blue, so it kind of gives you a hint right away on what you got to be doing. We'll plop it on the corresponding opposite pedestal, and we're going to head up these little rock stairs that we got here. Rock ladder, I guess you could say. And then up the stairs we go. We have a chain here.
Stoked new hope in Ember.
So in order to do this, I don't think it gives you guidance on what you got to do, but you just, oh, there you go. Now you get a little bit of info on it. You left click and then you pull down, and you want to hold it until it gets that satisfying click, and then obviously now things have started to move. This also reminds me a little bit of Monument Valley. If you've ever played that, I believe it's only a mobile game. So let's hop down here. I guess I should also mention too, this is $15. So if you are interested, you can pick it up for $15. It's not like it is anything too crazy. And personally, I got mine on the Epic Game Store because I am playing on PC, like I said. It's also not a space hogger either. I think it was only a little over a gig in download size. Alright, so we got another chain here. We got to pull it down.
Hope was almost within reach.
We just got to get up to this flame here at the top. Alright, and I think we can, yeah. So you don't have to necessarily click around corners. It'll automatically find the best path for you to go.
The flame spoke and Ember listened.
Alright, the flame has escaped the cage and is opening a new path for us to explore here. So I'm gonna guess we're gonna go down to this way then. We're gonna follow the flame through the path. I mean, it's the only path that we have, so it makes the most logical sense to keep going that way. Alright, we're in a new area
the flame
now.
lingered ahead.
It's lingering ahead. Alright. I'm guessing just sticking to the path is going to be our best bet for the time being. And again, it says double click to dash.
Was it trying to escape?
This one's a little tricky because obviously we want to
Or leading the way?
try to click in the right spot. Alright, it looks like we're kind of climbing our way up into some new ruins up here. We have something over here. We got more of those blue guys and then something chilling there on a stone. Okay, what's happening now? Oh, we have another ember that has lost his way. Oh, and the flame went into him. And now they've turned back to orange.
The campfire flickered into life.
Oh, okay.
The ghost spoke. Hope has returned to a forlorn.
To a forlorn? So is that the ember that we just saved then? A forlorn?
I will warm them until they choose to move on.
Oh, okay. So I'm guessing that's the guy that we just helped save over there with the ember.
Ember looked to the ghost for answers.
Where am I?
This is a place between places.
That's quite specific.
To travel through as your light fades.
Okay, so like what's it called? Like purgatory, right? Isn't that what it is when like it's between death and going to whatever, you know, heaven or hell? And from that perspective, obviously, so very similar, I guess.
But none have passed on in a long time.
Oh, so a lot of people have been stuck here.
The Forest King now holds us here,
The Forest King. Okay.
and those who linger will turn forlorn.
Okay, that makes sense. So if we stay here long enough, we're going to turn into forlorn, which just seems to be in a like in a dead state almost, really.
Again, that word, forlorn.
Oh, well, there you go. He's going to answer it for us.
The forlorn are those who lost their way along the path. If you find them, send them to me and I will guide them.
So almost like a sense of like ghosts as well, because isn't it like ghosts are spirits that have lost their way, and or they either lost their way or they stay in a place because of whatever trauma they went through when they were actually living, supposedly. Obviously, this is supposedly if you believe in ghosts and you believe in everything like that. But from all the lore that you hear around ghosts, it's one of the aspects of them. So, all right, who are you then?
I am just a guide along the way to fan the flame.
All right, so just a guide along the way, fanning the flame to keep us alive and to keep us moving on our journey.
So many lost embers have I seen, more than I could help. Ember thought of those they loved, those they'd left behind.
All right, so we have two different options. We have I want to move on or I want to help others. Well, I'm not selfish. I mean, yes, I do want to move on, but at the same time, if I have the option to help others, you know, it could be interesting to see. So let's try to help others, I guess.
There are others lost along their journey.
Okay.
Find them and I will guide them.
That is what you said you did. You do guide, so. All right, we can have I want to move on or help me. I'm assuming help me would be from a stance of where do I start with helping other people or other embers.
Step backwards, little Ember. Look behind. Upon a small grassy cliff rests a forlorn.
Ah, so that was the guy that we saw chilling on the stone back there when we came in with the little blue guys around him. Alright, now our ghost disappears back into the statue. I guess we'll talk with this person first, and we do have the forest and then a couple different circles that pop up here. So 4 here and then 3 that are dotted. So 4 solid and 3 dotted. We already have 1. I'm guessing these are the forlorn that we are going to possibly save, or we could potentially save in this space as we move through it. So let's talk to this person.
The stranger said, take care of those you care about the most.
Okay, I mean, short, sweet, and simple. Now, if we come up here, we're going to go back over to that guy in just a minute, the forlorn that's over on the cliff edge. But we do have this.
The door was sealed shut.
Alright, the door is sealed shut, so it's looking like we do need to do some things here first before we can even proceed. And I'm guessing that even if we had said we wanted to move on, the guy probably would have told us, hey, no, you need to help other people in order to get to that state. So we do have this guy over here, and I think we have to come around to the side this way to take a peek. Now, from all this clicking, it makes sense why this would also be on, let's say, the Switch or on iOS, maybe Android someday, possibly, is that it's easy enough on a touchscreen where you can just use your finger to click your character around. Obviously, I'm using my mouse because I am on PC. It would be interesting to see how it works on like Xbox or PS4 though. Alright, we have a couple different options here. So we can go this way. We got 2 blue guys, and then we have some lily pads that we could jump around. We actually have a lot more this way. Is there anything? Oh, wow. There's even more stuff this way. Okay, is this going to lead us up to the cliff, I wonder? Forest campfire. Okay, so we're back in the same area, and that guy is up there, but there's no way for us to get there just yet. But there is someone sitting up here. I didn't even notice this guy before. He's probably out of sight when we came by.
The traveler spoke. You ever had roast frog, friend? I miss a good roast frog. Oh, how they crackle.
I wonder if we can help this person out, or help this person, because it's not like they're really asking for our help, but if we were to provide them with a roast frog, if that would help our progression in some way. Well, let's go back, because obviously we can't get up there that way. There has to be some other way for us to get there, and we probably have to progress in some form or fashion. So we have, wow, we have a big guy sitting up there. Okay. Can we go this way anymore? What is this? Oh, we got some stairs. Okay, we can crawl up there. Maybe I did miss some stairs back there. But this is going to lead us to a different path that way. Well, I guess first, let me go back. Let me make sure I didn't miss any steps back here. Yep, I did miss some steps. So there's the steps right there. It kind of blended in, honestly. I just didn't notice it because it wasn't really anything different. It just looks like rock with grass on it. But I guess that's the defining item right there, is the rock with the grass on it. Now, I don't think we're actually going to be able to do anything with this guy because we don't have an ember to help save him. We need to get another flame, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Forsaken, trying to keep something. I couldn't read it quick enough.
Had been forgotten.
Oh, poor guy. Well, I haven't forgotten about you, stranger. I am here to help. We have another puzzle, though, so we got to figure out what we need to do here. So let's take a peek at the flame is over there, and we don't really have much direction on things, on what we got to do. So I guess we're just going to kind of figure it out as we go. Let's see what this does first. Okay, I see. So I'm assuming we want all 3 of these to be facing forward. So can we can't get both of those to face forward.
They tried to follow as best they could.
Let's take this one. Put it over there. This isn't gonna work either.
But no one heard them when they fell behind.
Oh, you know what? No, we want to put it on this one. And then what we'll do is these are in sync now. We'll get them to line up just perfectly with that one. My idea was starting strong. Oh, we can't just set it down. Perfect. Okay, cool. And then we just move them back to the front. There we go. I know how to puzzle. Alright, cool. So that is actually nice that you can set it down. I was a little bit worried there for a second because I had that idea in my head, but then I was worried that it wasn't actually going to work for a minute. Alright, the flame has dwindled down into a little spark in our hands. And we have transported back over to the forlorn. And he is regaining his color. He's purple. I love purple personally. It's one of my favorite colors. So if I were able to have a purple robe in this, it'd be awesome.
At Ember with surprise. Someone came back for me. Thank you.
Yeah, of course, stranger. So now we have him back, but there's actually another guy sitting over there now. So I don't know if that is the guy that we talked to down here or not.
The stranger looked at Ember with surprise.
Okay, so yeah, he's all set. I don't think there's anything else we can do there. But yeah, now there's two people over there, and this guy's still sitting over here. Again, I guess we're going to have to get him probably some roasted frog. I'm guessing that's what's going to make him be happy. Him or her be happy. Alright, so we have two different paths here. Well, we have actually a couple different ways. We could go left over there, right over there, or we have this right here in the middle. Let's take a peek at what we got going on here.
Through the murky water was the shadow of something hiding, and on a small pier with barely a sound, a lonely fisherman sat.
Well, let's go up and see the fisherman then. Is there an easy way for us to get there that way? It does not look like it. There is a guy hanging up there though, but I really want to check out this fisherman. So I'm guessing that we're going to have to go this way. Now, actually, first and foremost, can we sneak around this corner here? Is there a way for us to go? No, okay, so we cannot get back there. It kind of looked like we could because it was an open space, but it didn't. I wasn't 100% sure. Okay. I see. So we probably have to work our way all the way around over here, and then we can push this tree down to have an easy shortcut back over. That makes sense. Alright, we have a whole other area now. We have a toad here. An orange toad. Or pink. Whatever color you want to call it. Okay, he hopped back into the water. I'm guessing once we talk to the fisherman, we probably could get a fishing rod and then hopefully be able to get one of these toads. Because I don't think we can get it right now. Alright, let's try going this way then. So that frog actually hopped back out. So yeah, I'm guessing we gotta go up that way. But what's this way first? We got some blue guys running around here. And we do have another ember hanging out.
The traveler said, "You sailed in here. Where's your boat?"
We don't have our boat. It's gone.
You need a boat.
Fair enough. Okay.
Go see the builder in the caves. Tell them I'm sorry I never came back.
Okay, the builder in the caves. Alright, that's some good direction for us to keep in mind of where we need to go. There's actually a way for us to loop back over here, and we do have two different ways to go. We could take... Actually, no, we can't go that way because they've got some stones blocking our path there, but we can hop up this way. Oh, and this is a whole different area as well. Okay, good thing we came this way. And we have another lost ember over here. A forlorn. I'm going to mispronounce that word every single time unless I see it pop up on the screen. Dreading old paths.
The stranger had blazed their own path.
Alright, so we have another puzzle here. Let's get going and trying to figure this one out. So this is our first option. We do have some these over here. They're glowing, but I don't think we can do any. Okay, I see. So when we pick this up, it changes that. But really, this is our best bet.
Created their own rock, their own islands.
All right, so we'll come over here. I'm guessing we're gonna want to pick this one up. And can we carry this up? It does not look like we can actually carry it. So we're gonna have to bring it back over here, put it on this pedestal, just like so. We'll come back and grab this. And then bring it with us? Now, how do we want to do this? Oh, I see what we got to do. Okay. We'll come over here.
They did not need Ember's kindness.
And place it down. Can I place it down? How did I place it down before? There we go. A little tricky to place it down, not gonna lie. And then we'll take this. We'll put it back over here.
But still, Ember stayed.
And then we want to make our way. Oh, okay. So the auto tracing, or like the auto movement of the character when you click, it doesn't work when you have like stairs or something in the way. It doesn't work that well. Yeah, because this is gonna work fine.
Building a bridge, should it ever be needed.
In my head for a second, I'm like, this isn't gonna work. But no, we're good. We got it going here. And we're able to get over to the flame and release it and help that poor Ember out. Ooh, we got like a little ombre going on there. Yellow on the top and red on the bottom.
The stranger met Ember's eyes. The two shared a moment of silence. The stranger met Ember's eyes.
Okay, that's all we got
The two
from that one.
shared a moment of silence.
Alright, so we saved him. Not too shabby. Let's get down here and let's keep going. So we gotta make our way all the way back over. Alright, and we have different ways to go here. It doesn't look like we can go in there. Maybe once we get a boat. It sounds like we're going to be able to get a boat. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's head up here. Let's go and talk to the old fisherman, because the fisherman was over that way. Ooh, we do have a toad statue here, though. Oh, okay. We can pick this up, actually. Oh, we have to click on Ember to drop items. Now, if I put this over here and put it down... Oh, it opens a secret cave. Okay. There we go. Let's go in here first. Cave of Solitude, and we have another Ember in here. Look at all these pipes. This is actually kind of crazy. There's a little water mill going in the background too. Wow, okay, look at this one. Congested.
The stranger was trapped, caught in a maze.
Alright. I'm curious, do I have to push these boys? I do. Okay. It's interesting how they fall. That's not really how that would work, but it's okay. Okay, so... Yes, it looks like we need to move this. I'm guessing what it's going to do is shift this that way. We have to move this all the way over here, plop it down, push that down as well, then make our way back and move it probably back that way, because it's probably going to move this one as well. That is what I'm guessing. I don't think there's anything additional we need to do just at this point in time. Okay. So it'll move it all the way that way if we needed to. Or right to there. That's where we want it to go. So let's do this one first. Now I did notice that there's now I don't know if we're going to be able to move it sideways. You know what I mean? If I put it into that corner. I'm a little bit worried on that. Because if I get it into the corner and I can't move it, then I don't know where we got to go from there. Let's check out the opposite side of the thing first then. Can we do anything over here? We can plop that down. But I don't know if that's what we want. Okay. That might not be what we want. Because I'm guessing that we can't move things that way. And we might have put ourselves in a tough spot here. So we can maybe push it back. Oh, there we go. Okay. So can we pull these? That's the question. Okay. Well, we can. Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure on that point. And I'm guessing that this is going to go onto here. This one is actually really confusing on how we got to do it. Let me hop down here. I'm sure some of you already have seen what we got to do. If we shift that way, then we can shift it this way. So we could move that over there, but I don't know what it really then does for us, because we ultimately want to get over there. We ultimately just want to have, it looks like what we ultimately want to do is have this one pushed down into there. That's what we want to do, so that we can then make our way over there. And I did definitely mess this one up. What I want to do is actually move this way, one, come back over here, okay. Let's shift it all the way around, just like so. And then maybe push it over to there for the time being. All right. Move this one back. And then we'll grab this.
It was hard to make sense of this place.
Okay. Because then if we put this down, we have a way. But we can't really move it anymore, can we? It is really hard to make sense of this place. Let me do a little tinkering. Let me see what we can come up with. All right, I think I figured it out. So I moved things back around. If you remember, I had pushed off this one that was up here. Well, actually what you want to do is you want to take this stone that was here, roll it onto this one, onto this moving platform, and then move it over to here and get it on this gold platform, and then push this one that was up there, this rolling one that was up there, on top of it, just like so. And I think what we want to do is we want to shift it all the way around, just like so. And then we'll come over here, and because you can just roll it by the bottom one, just like so.
Kept on closing.
And as the narrator keeps talking as you do things, it's making it sound like you are progressing in the right direction. So let's get that off of there then. Yep, we have definitely figured it out now. So then we're going to want to shift this all the way around. And then go this way, come back up here, push that down. Oh, nope. And then we're going to come this way. We're going to push that one down. We're going to make our way all the way over to this one then, and roll it, and it should fall off the side just like so. Now all we got to do is we got to make our way all the way back down to this platform down here and get it lined up properly. Wasn't an extremely hard puzzle, but it definitely wasn't the easiest. This definitely was a little bit of a peak in our book of puzzles that we've done so far. All right, the flame turns into a tiny, tiny flame in our hands, and we transport back to our ember friend who has lost his way, and we give him the ember, him or her the ember, and he's purple again. I love the purple ones. Probably my favorite, hands down. Favorite ones are purple ones.
The stranger's voice was hoarse. I just need some time, I think, to see things clearly.
All right, cool. And we already know that if we click on that one again, it's just going to give us the same exact wording that we just had. So back out we come. And that was actually kind of cool that we figured out that there was a little secret one right there by putting that frog little totem down there. We do have another one right here. Let's talk to him.
The ember was curious. Where did you wake up? I'm headed for the crossroads. It's not far, I think. I've heard there's a nest there. A safe place.
Yeah, I think they're referring to our little campfire site. So we might see that one pop up at some point in time. Let's head through here, and it's going to bring us to the pond again. That block looks very out of place right there. It looks like you're supposed to move that block. Alright, when we come out here, let's make sure we do this first. Push that down so we have a way to get back over, and then let's talk to this fisherman.
The fisherman murmured quietly between sorrowful breaths.
Alright, and we pop in to another puzzle here. A sorrowful soul.
The fisherman felt so useless.
No, buddy, you're not useless. You're a fisherman. You have purpose as doing fisherman things.
His former joys were hollow.
Okay, this is actually kind of interesting. So these blow air when we step in front of them. But it's not like it moves us. This one is definitely going to be interesting.
Sitting out there every day by the pond.
I'm guessing it probably would have just
Only
blown
the
us
dark
off.
water to hear him talk. In that darkness, a glimmer flickered.
Yeah, that one was a weird one, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't understand what those were necessarily supposed to do. I'm guessing it would have pushed us off if we went in front of it. But that first one wouldn't have pushed us anywhere. Like, we went in front of it and it didn't do anything. So we have our flame. Oh, I see.
Beating like a drum.
Okay. Now, what we gotta be careful of
that went round and round.
is we don't want to... That's what it is. We don't want to take the flame and go in front of one of these bad boys.
Started with a frog.
All started with the frog.
Every day by the pond, a constant reminder.
Alright, let's set you here for a second, buddy. Or I can't set you on stairs. I have to set you on normal ground. Okay. We'll be right back. We need to move this because we don't want to be carrying the flame and then be in front of one of these boys. So let's just move it the complete opposite direction. And then we won't have any trouble with it. We'll grab our little flame and we'll get it back up and get it to the fisherman. This one's also different too because in all the other ones we get to the end and we get the flame and we automatically go back to that person. Whereas with this one we had to collect the flame and actually make our way back basically through the puzzle itself. Like we didn't really need to do anything with the puzzle at first, but we did have to do it on the way back. Alright, little fisherman, come to life. Oh, he's waking up. He's purple too. Or he's kind of pink. And he's wearing a fish on his head. I didn't even realize that.
The fisherman struggled to speak.
Forgot I need to click
He
sometimes.
looked at Ember, hopeful. The fisherman spoke softly. There's a frog in that pond. A big one. Saw him grow from a tadpole. We were friends of a sort. Spent every day side by side. So much better at fishing than me, that frog is. Catches them before I can bait them. Oh, it makes me feel useless some days. The fisherman sighed. I've wasted so much time feeling like this. The old man looked carefully at the pond, at their rod, at Ember. Well, listen to me here, rambling on and on. It helps, though, telling someone. Thank you, Ember. If you need help catching anything, you just ask.
Okay, cool. This poor fisherman. I feel bad for him. He feels useless. He's having a hard time. His toad friend is beating him at fishing. About the frog.
You saw the frog? Did the frog mention me? You ask the frog about me, see what they say. Actually, no, just please don't tell the frog how much I talk about them.
Okay. About the bait. So let's talk about the bait
Poor
then.
little worms. They didn't ask to be here. But how do you fish without them? One for me, one for the fishes. Slurp 'em down.
Oh, so he eats the worms too? I guess we'll just keep going through all these conversation dialogues.
They say catching a fish isn't the point. So I tell myself that. I tell myself that a lot.
Alright, let's ask him about his fish hat then.
I chased old Blue Betty round this pond for years. Best days of my life catching that fish. Had to use myself as bait. Stuck on me head ever since.
That's kind of funny. Alright, let's get out of this then.
If you need help catching anything, you just ask.
Alright, I was a little hopeful that the fishermen would help us catch a frog, but it doesn't seem to be the case. So, a little bit unfortunate there, because I did want to try to get a frog and then roast one for that other guy. Oh, that's the frog!
The frog stared at Ember, its belly rumbling.
Oh, please don't eat us. Come back later or listen. Listen?
Its eyes were fixed on Ember, but it seemed to mean no harm.
That is a big toad.
Was this the frog that the fisherman spoke of? Ember could hardly ignore the rumbling from the frog's belly.
Oh, poor guy. Alright, well, we'll leave him be. I wonder if he goes back underwater, if he just stays there. Oh, no, he goes back underwater. So we definitely are going to want to find some food, I'm assuming, for that guy. And unfortunately, we can't get this because we need to get up there. We do need a boat, they said. So maybe this is the cave here that we need to go into for the builder. Alright, into the cave we go. Some cool cobwebs. I love the art design again. I know I've said it a few times, but it's just so cool. And we have a little lever here. We hold it and pull it. And let's see what happens. Alright, so it's now raised up this over here. But that's about it. How do we get up there then? That is the next question here. Because obviously there is one over there that we need to get to. But there does not seem to be a way for us to go over there. So I guess for the time being, we'll head back out of here. And let's get a better view of what we got going on here. The toad comes back up. There's no other way up there, it looks like, other than going through the path. But we don't have a way to go through the path yet. And I believe we've explored pretty much everything on the opposite side, if I'm not mistaken. So we might just need to head back to the main campsite and see what we got going on. So let's go up there for the time being. And we got a couple new friends over here. So we got 4 of them saved, and there's 3 more additional ones that we could use, or we could find. It doesn't look like we can talk to any of those ones other than the first one that was saved. And we might be able to progress now, but I really want to explore this space more. Because it looks like there's a lot of cool things that we could discover here. Now, I think we can go back to the ghost and ask him for more help if we really wanted to. Let's see what we got going on over here. So we got some thorns. We obviously can't get through those. Oh, we had a guy right there, right in the foreground. That bird has something in its mouth, a key. That's what we need. We need that key
The
from that
crow
bird.
held its shining trophy tight.
Oh, we're coming for you, crow. Oh, dang. And he just goes deeper into the forest then. Oh, and it dropped it into the pond. No! Alright, well, there's a guy to save in there. So I'm guessing what we're going to need to do is work with the fisherman.
Was overgrown with dry brambles.
Yeah, I'm guessing we're going to have to talk to the fisherman. I think that's our only way then to progress with getting that key. But let's look around a little bit more in here. We do have another traveler here.
The stranger whispered, "Ever feel like you are being watched?"
Yes, I do feel like I am being watched. Because we've seen that other guy a couple times now.
Never felt that. What does it feel like? Is it nice? It sounds nice.
No, it's not really that nice. Alright, we got some more toads down here. Nothing that way. I don't know if we can pick up a toad or not. That's what I'm trying to see if we can do. No, it doesn't look like it. Alright. And they're just going to keep hopping in and out. Oh, there's a big toad right here. Ah, we have another little puzzle here. Alright, we should be fine. There we go. Getting all the way around. Just like that. And we're out. Ooh, we do have a worm here. Okay. And then it goes over there. Like, I don't know. Do we need to be quicker? Ah, I get it. Okay. Place that there. Place this here. And let's go for him. Haha, you don't have anywhere to go.
The worm looked helpless, with no way to escape.
I'm sorry, poor
As
worm.
Ember picked it up, the worm let out a little yelp.
Oh. Why they gotta make it so sad? Well, now we have a worm. I'm guessing that'll be useful at some point, but I did also notice that there's a pedestal up here.
Inside was a scrap of journal.
Oh, it's a chest.
The strangers on the water went on without me. Where have I landed? Vines and thorns stretch out to trip me.
Interesting, okay. So a little tidbit of material there. Ooh, and we do have a tree here that we can knock over. Cool, that'll make it easier to get back so we don't have to go through that puzzle again. Now let's come this way. We do have a fire here. Oh, and we lit a ooh, we lit a nice little piece of wood here. We picked up a piece of wood to have like a torch. Oh, so we can burn the thorns down. There we go. Okay. So now I'm getting it. We had to come over here and grab this. Now, I don't think there were any thorns back over where we just found the worm, but there was these here, and we can take them out, and it looks like there's a chest up there as well. So let's head up there. We should be able to utilize these stairs. Oh, we got to drop that. And it does look like it goes out when we drop it.
The Wanderer's Diary.
The Wanderer's Diary, okay.
Unfamiliar trees, a path overgrown. Is this a resting place? A place between places? I call out, but mine is the only voice.
Alright, so we're getting more and more tidbits. Oh, and you know what I just did notice? We had something up there at the top. That's kind of interesting. Trying to see. No, it just gives us two little notifications up there that we have that, and then in our satchel we have a worm, and then we do have our two Do we not have our 2 items in there? It looks like we have a little piece of paper there. Oh, there we go. 2 out of 42 forgotten things. Holy smokes. I thought this game was going to be like a little bit straightforward, you know, a little bit easier. But it definitely doesn't make it seem like it is. Or at least I didn't think that it would have a very long story to it. I really don't know how long you can play through this. I mean, if you do all the exploration and things like that, I'm not sure how much time you could accumulate in the game. Like I did mention, it is a new game, so no one really has released much info around it just yet.
The key was nestled between the reeds, but it was just out of reach.
All right, no, we don't need that because all we have is a worm. I'm guessing that we have to go back. Maybe we have to go back to the toad and give the toad the worm. Or we need to catch a fish with the fisherman. Ah, okay. I think that's what we got to do. I think we need to catch a fish from the fisherman and then use that fish maybe for the toad and then take the fishing rod as well and be able to give that to use the fishing rod to get the key, I should say. Let's head down here and let's head over to the fisherman really quickly. So as I did mention, I am just planning this as a 1 episode for the time being. If it does well, then maybe we will do more episodes. Obviously, we are doing a little bit longer because we're almost at an hour, but we probably are going to wrap it up relatively shortly for this first episode. Okay, we have no option. All we get is goodbye.
If you need help catching anything, you just ask.
Okay. So obviously then we don't need to talk to the fisherman. I would have thought that we needed to. Maybe we can give the worm to the toad.
Stared at Ember, its belly rumbling.
Show him the item. Yeah, let's show him the worm. That's a big worm too. Oh! Oh no! It ate us!
This was not how Ember had imagined the end.
Yeah, I was not expecting that either.
The gurgling of water, a deafening heartbeat.
We just turned into Pinocchio, but got eaten by a frog, not a whale.
The fog returned Ember's good deed by leading them to a lost forlorn.
Oh, there we go. So we figured out how to get this one then. All right, so let's do this. It's a good thing we went in there first and raised that thing up. I'm guessing that it'll help us in the long run. Holy smokes, and we do have a whole other puzzle to go through here for this forlorn.
The stranger stood alone.
It actually looks not as complicated.
Their friends have fallen aside.
Move this one this way.
Retreating from what came next.
Oh, come on. Let's get over here. Can we pick that up? Oh, we can walk over there now. This thing, okay. So we can go all the way around. I'm guessing we have to come this way.
Ventured on.
And then push this over to here for the time being. So we can come down here, push this one into the water.
Now they were deep in the woods.
I don't think we need this one, so we can just plop it right there.
That's so pointless.
And then what we can do is come back up here and move this one back over just like so. And then we will come back all the way around now that it's all cleared out. And we can get up to the ember up here, or the flame, I should say. And just like that, it turns into a nice little flame in our hands, and we teleport back to the lost ember. That shadow made me feel like someone was coming, like the frog or something was coming up next to us.
The stranger spoke hesitantly. Is the campfire crowded? Let me gather myself. I'll see you there.
I think that was the most logical like answer that we've gotten from one of those guys. And it doesn't. Oh no, we did do good. Okay, cool. So if we hadn't done that ahead of time, we probably wouldn't have been able to come over and get
Ember
this.
found the Wanderer's diary. The oily smell of frogs. They know more than they will say. They watch me watching them.
All right, we got another one. Another piece of parchment, another Wanderer's journal entry there. So we can come this way. I don't think we can go that way, but this will lead us outside, and then we can talk to this guy.
The stranger spoke. You look hungry, friend. You bring any broth with you? There's a cook in the swamp. Makes a broth like you wouldn't believe. Keep telling them that it doesn't taste right. They'll keep giving you more.
Interesting. Telling us that there is a cook in the swamp. Alright, so we were able to get that chain down and be able to come back out here. Now, I don't think that the frog is out here anymore then, so I wonder if we go back and talk to the fisherman now, if he'll be happy because he can actually catch some fish. That is what I'm curious on. Because we do need to get a fishing rod. No.
If you need help catching anything, you just ask.
Yeah, I do need help catching something, but for whatever reason, we still aren't able to communicate with him to get a fishing rod in order to get that. So maybe what we do need to do is go to the builders first in the caves. We got rid of the thorns in front of those caves on the opposite side of the camp, and maybe we need to go there first, get the boat, and then go inside before we can do anything additional. We're slowly but surely figuring things out. And let's see our campfire. How are we doing? We have 4 people here now. I think, well, we have 5, including the first guy that we had helped save at the beginning. But we're making good headway here. But guys, we're going to wrap that up for our first episode of this. Like I said, if you guys did like this series, leave a like down below. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. I might do one other episode at the very least on this. Again, we'll just kind of see how it's going. I'm really enjoying it, so at worst case scenario, we might be streaming it over on Twitch. But other than that, guys, if you're new to the channel, you do want to follow along, hit that subscribe button and bell notification. It'll let you know every single time a new episode is posted to the channel. I have my Twitch link down below if you were curious. I also have my Discord down below, and that's where you can stay up to date on anything new that's going on here with the YouTube channel or over with our Twitch streaming. Also, we have a good community over on our Discord, and we just kind of, you know, exchange words and advice on different games that we might be playing. So it's a cool place to hang out, I would think. So, anyways, guys, thank you so much for sticking through to the end. I hope you enjoyed. I will catch you all in the next one. Take it easy.